This episode is brought to you by Bleacher Report. How do you follow sports? From college football to the NBA, Bleacher Report brings you the latest news, live scores, and epic highlights from your favorite leagues, teams, and athletes, all in one app. Dive into exclusive shows hosted by your favorite athletes and original Bleacher Report series with breaking news, rumors, and predictions all season long. Download Bleacher Report to personalize your coverage.
Add excitement to your holidays with Ohio Lottery Holiday Scratch-Offs, including $1 holiday cash and $5 holiday lucky times 10, or holiday bonus millions with a 200 times multiplier and a $2 million top prize. Plus, enjoy second chance drawings where you can win 10 times, 100 times, or 1,000 times the price of your ticket. Scratch-Offs make the perfect gift, and best of all, there's no wrapping required. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the generative AI assistant that can securely understand your business data, summarize results, and streamline tasks. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to episode 399 of the Anfield Index podcast. I'm Trev Downey. I am podcasting to you like a miracle from my house in my field here in beautiful rural Ireland, because I have been reconnected to the glorious, glorious interweb, and I'm returning to annoy you on podcasts. And I thought, if I was going to annoy people on podcasts, who would my brother from another mother be that I would choose to join me in such a annoying fest? And it is, of course, Mr. Dave Hendrick, who admittedly, in a contrarian fashion, decided he'd come on to episode 399 instead of episode 400. So you are very welcome, man.
Yeah, well, I did 100. I did 100, I did 200, and I did 300. And people might have been expecting me on 400, but tough shit. Here I am on 399.
Yeah, so deal with it. Tremendous. I'm glad.
I hope, Trev, that the recent struggles you have had with getting reconnected to the internet will make the listeners realize finally just how rural you live, how rural your field is. Because, you know, had you lived in a town, you would have been connected the next day. It took 12 days of pain and suffering for you to get back to the land of civilization.
I did, and a stressful 10 or 12 days on the phone constantly to Vodafone and asking what was going to happen and being told that it had been fixed and being gaslit and having to keep pushing and pushing. And it's demoralizing. It leaves you quite despondent. And you're trying to do all this whilst working in a day job. So it's not exactly ideal to have to be on hold for an hour and a half at a given time. But we got there in the end, and a couple of people have reached out to help. So credit to them for their offers. I think it was just a matter of it took the time it took, and I had gotten reconnected and then disconnected again. So we are here, and hopefully we're back. I'm literally grasping onto the wooden table and the wooden windowsill as we speak, just in the hope that nothing will go wrong here. But it's been an interesting fortnight where I've been kind of off the air, Dave. A lot of stuff going on, but no more pressing issue, if we're being perfectly honest, than checking out the clobber of some of the lads arriving there at training the other day. And it's always quite interesting. I'm a big fan of Mo, the man in the best shape in the world, never ever wearing anything tight fitting anymore. He wears things that are about 17 times too big for him, and he has a whole aesthetic going on with baggy jumpers and jeans that you get about 5 lads into. But we have to has comment on Brent Alexander-Arnold's leather jacket, which he wore in a combo with some jeans, which made me think, surely this is a Christmas do and it's some sort of a fancy dress. But oh no, it was instead a fashion statement. One of the most absolutely starkly awful things I've ever seen on a lad who, let's be honest, if you have that footballer slender build and if you have the added bonus like trend of being pretty jacked, you can't actually look bad in almost anything. And yet, congrats to the kid because he managed it. So it left me with a question that I wanted to tee up for you, not to be ragging on Trent or Trent's fashion choices or anything like that, but it is a Liverpool adjacent question. I thought it'd be a good one for us to start our show here. We have a different type of aesthetic on the AIP, as you know. And I just wondered, could you relate to having a Trent moment in your past where you had an item of clothing that you wore out and you were convinced was absolutely fucking nails at the time, and then in retrospect you go back and you go, probably not a great shout? I know I have a couple in case you're running dry in the old tank there, but I did want to throw it to you first.
So I've never been the most fashion conscious person. I kind of wear what I like normally, which is, jeans and a shirt, jeans and a hoodie, whatever. But there are a couple. So as a young man, probably 12 maybe.
Yeah.
My cousins lived in Australia, and when they used to come home to Ireland, they'd always come through America, and they would save their money all year so that when they were coming through America, they could afford to buy clothes and runners and stuff like that, because obviously it was much cheaper to buy it in America. And what they would do is they would buy them, come to Ireland, go back to Australia, and then the next time they were coming, they'd be buying new stuff, and I would get their hand-me-downs. Because as they would grow out of them, I'd grow into them because they were a few years older than me. So I went through a spell of wearing like Air Jordans and stuff, which were very cool. It was great. I was the only kid I knew that had Air Jordans because my cousins would buy them. They'd wear them for maybe 2 years. They'd grow out of them, and then I'd grow into them, and it was great.
There weren't many Air Jordans knocking around Navan, no, to be honest.
No, definitely not. But one year they came home, and my cousin Carl, who's probably the cousin I'm closest to, and we're of a similar stature as well. Even in our older ages, we've grown into a similar stature. But he had purchased a few years earlier a bright red Nike Air Jordan shell suit. Wow. Right? Bright red. I mean, like traffic stop red. So he gives this to me, and I think this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I wore it, all of it, right? Went to school in it the next day. It was one of those days where, as you put to the summer holidays in primary school, teachers get a bit more relaxed. You can wear your own clothes. I go in looking like a stop sign, and people are like, what are you wearing? And the teachers are commenting on it. Mr. Hendrick, I could see you from miles away. I believe NASA have been in touch. They can see you from space. I go home a little bit put off by this. As I'm walking home, my cousin Carl is coming out of my grandparents' house, and he sees me. And he starts waving at me, like, that kind of wave people do, as in, like, stop what you're doing, don't go any further.
Yeah.
And he runs down to me. Now, Carol's probably about 15 at the time. He runs down and he goes, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? He goes, what are you wearing that for? I said, you giving it to me. He goes, you don't wear the whole thing at once. You look ridiculous. You wear the whole with different bottoms, or you wear the bottoms with a different... You look stupid wearing the whole thing. And I did. I looked utterly ridiculous.
And he went a full kit shell suit wanker.
Literally full kit wanker. A very pale Irish white kid wearing an all red shell suit that would have looked cool on Michael Jordan, did not look good on me. So that was as a young fella. So a little bit later, as I become a grown up, if I ever do become them, I'll let everybody know. But as I get to grown up kind of ages, you start working, you start making a bit of money. and you start to see the odd thing that you like. And I remember buying a pair of, remember Dockers, the trousers?
Of course, yeah.
So I used to have a couple of pairs of like just Dockers chinos and stuff that you'd wear for like, you know, good events. Like if there was like family stuff going on, you'd wear them. And I remember going into McKennaman one day in Navan Shopping Centre, the legendary McKennaman. And there's also one in Drogheda, but it's not as good because it's in Drogheda. And I remember going in and I was looking at like 501s or whatever. And like the baggier jeans were really kind of dying out at that point, and it was become more the boot cut and all that kind of stuff. But I really liked that kind of baggier look. And I remember seeing a pair of Dockers, and they weren't flares. They didn't flare below the knee. These kind of flared about the mid thigh and they were an abomination. They were an abomination. I thought they were class. They were about £100. Far too much money to be paid. £100 sterling as well, I should point out. £100 Irish punts, actually. Confusing myself. 100 Irish punts. So I bought them. I wore them once. I got mocked relentlessly on a night out by my mates. I didn't wear them again. I learned my lesson.
I'm trying to understand the aesthetic. Are these the equivalent of what Mo is wearing now? Just incredibly wide-legged pants?
Yes. Yeah, incredibly wide-legged pants, but they were like a chino-type material, but a little bit tougher.
Gotcha.
So almost like, you know, the Snickers pants that lads, the tradesmen wear?
Yeah.
They were that type of material almost, but they were quite wide-legged and baggy, and they did look ridiculous. So that was them.
That is tremendous. And you know what's interesting is my two are very, very similar, and we don't do any prep, as everybody knows. Famously,
What is prep?
Yes.
What do you do when you're cooking food?
Yeah, we like to wing it. My two are very similar. My first one's a shell suit too. Sorry, you've more.
I've got one more.
Go on.
So I'm probably about 24, 25, and I'm earning really good money at the time. And there's a young lady in Navan who, if she ever hears this, she'll know it's her, that I was trying to woo at the time. But I was always, I'd become kind of a scruffy rocker. You know, I had longer hair that I had then shaved, but I had a big beard, and I used to wear like, you know, just jeans and hoodies and, you know, whatever. And I never...
For people that get a feel for this, we're talking about mid-2000s here, right?
Mid-2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I was, like, as I said, I was trying to woo this girl, but I knew she had a type, and it was a bit more clean-cut than me. And, like, I remember one night, so we were all going out, and I knew she was going to be out, so I went on a Saturday morning, I went to McKennaman, got myself a new pair of jeans. I needed new jeans anyway. Got myself a lovely pair of 501s, delighted with them. Went and bought, in Navan at the time, there was a couple of shops. You know where Jack and Jones is now in the shopping centre?
Yeah, yeah.
There was a shop called Urban Footwear.
Right.
And I used to know the owner. And I went in, so I went into him, he's a friend of a friend. I was like, look, I'm looking for something that's kind of a shoe, but feels like a runner, because I've got really bad feet. I've got high arches, like naturally high arches, but I've also got collapsed arches from wearing rugby boots for years. So my feet hurt a lot if I wear shoes. So he's like, I have exactly the right thing for you. Commit. So I got these, lovely, brilliant. I was like, I'm going to buy a shirt, and I'm going to wear a shirt out tonight. And nobody has seen me wear a shirt in years out on a night out. Never do it. Would always wear a t-shirt or something. It's like, I'm going to buy a shirt. I'm going all out here. So next to Urban, there was a clothes shop run by a friend of his called Empire. And the guy who owned Empire was actually the son of, remember Harton's newsagents?
Yeah.
He was their son. Lovely fella. So I went into him. I was like, look, I'm looking for a shirt. But like, I don't want just the standard shirt that every fucking young lad wears out. You know, I don't want to look like just that I came in a box with all the rest of the lads from the town, because everybody, you go out on a Saturday night and all the lads are wearing the same clothes. And he's like, I have a shirt. He's like, but it's a bit brave.
No.
I was like, what you mean? So he brings me over and he shows me this shirt. Now, if I was to say, it was like, you know, the Gucci shirts that are like the El Chapo shirts?
Yeah.
You know, so it was kind of like one of them. It was a very aggressive kind of shirt. Like, you'd need to have significant confidence in yourself to wear this. And in my mid-20s, I'm bulletproof. I can pull off anything. Mindset. I thought, I can wear that. It was like a pink kind of base with like colorful patterns through it. It looked like someone had eaten a packet of Skittles and thrown it up, is what it looked like. And I thought, I'm going to pull this off. I didn't think I should probably check them with the jeans and the shoes I've bought and see if it looks all right. I just said, I'll take it. Absolutely, I'll take it. So got myself home. There was no one at home. I was living by myself. So I have no one to bounce an idea of. Does this look okay? So, do you know where Loretto Convent is?
I do.
There is a small little collective of...
I don't need a VPN. I've got nothing to hide. This is what I used to tell myself before I hooked up with LibertyShield.com. Not only is my home internet now fully encrypted, but I can now access all the websites I want, whenever I want, and do so from absolutely anywhere. As a Liverpool fan, I love to know I can now watch every match, regardless of whether it's on UK TV or not. My Liberty Shield VPN makes sure nothing is blocked and guarantees me super fast streaming speed throughout that match. You can get connected right now with their software package, which includes a 48-hour no-obligation free trial and instant access to their apps for Apple, Android, Fire TV, PC, Mac and Android TV. Or go a step further like I have and get one of their pre-configured VPN routers. These small but powerful devices allow you to easily connect every device in your home to VPN, making it the perfect solution for smart TVs, Mac boxes and games consoles. Visit LibertyShield.com today and use coupon code AIVPN25 to get 25% off at checkout.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Chronic migraine is 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for adults with migraine with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents, on average, 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Ask your doctor and visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs fragrances this holiday season. From the iconic Daisy and Perfect to the all-new Daisy Wild, Marc Jacobs perfume gift sets include everything she needs to feel special. From her favorite fragrance, plus the matching travel spray, holiday gifts don't get much more perfect than this. So if you're looking for a gift inspiration these holidays, Gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs.
Of apartments next to it. It's what would you call it? Duplexes, like a 2-bedroom downstairs, 2-bedroom upstairs type of, it's 2 different apartments. They look like houses, but just 4 apartments in them. So I'm living in one of them. So I've got to walk into town. So I get dressed, I look in the mirror, and I think, I don't know about this, but sure, I've committed to it anyway.
The walk into town for people is only about 1,000 yards less.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 yards, but it's a busy walk because you come up into the square.
Very busy, very on display.
Exactly, right? And so and it was summer as well, I should point out. So you're not bringing out a jacket. You might have something light with you, like a rain jacket or whatever. You're not bringing a coat. So I get myself fucking kitted out, shave my head, make myself look half respectable. Not shave it, but shave it down. Make myself look half respectful. I think, right, I've committed to it. I don't know if it works. I'm going for it. I take off. I'm walking in. I see 2 different cars go by and they look at me. I think that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. If the shirt has caught the eye of people walking by, that's not a good sign. I got to the square and I met one of my mates and he goes, "What the fuck are you wearing?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "What's that?" I was like, "It's a shirt." He's like, "No, it's not." He's like, "This is a shirt. What you're wearing is a statement." I was like, "Do you reckon it looks all right?" He goes, "You can't pull that off." He says, "You can't pull that off." Some people call it, "You can't pull that off." I was like, "I think you're wrong. I reckon I'm all right. We'll go on." So into the pub we go. I'd say I was there about 5 minutes, and the level of commentary I was getting, not just from the people I knew, but from other people. And then I got a couple of compliments on it from people that looked like they were dressed in the dark. And I thought, I have to go home and change here. So I went home, got changed, fucked the shirt in the bin, never wore it again, literally threw it in the bin and went back. It was luckily enough, said girl did not appear in while I was wearing the shirt. And I thought I'd gotten away with this because as I got back, she was arriving with her group of friends. So we walk in chatting away and I changed into a different, plainer shirt. And she's like, "Oh, that shirt's nice." I was like, "Oh, thanks." We walk in and people start laughing at me. And she's looking at me and they're like, "You want to see what he was wearing?" And so there was early camera phones then. Remember they were 3 pixels?
Oh, there was evidence.
There was evidence. There was photographic evidence. Well, I in my entire life have never had the piss ripped out of me as much as I had that night. I literally did not live that down for about 6 months.
We have one question that everyone wants to know. Did she get wooed?
She didn't. She did.
Tremendous.
Tremendous. Worked out. I think she might have taken pity on me more than I wooed her. It all worked out at the end. It worked out for a couple of months, but yeah, by the by. But yeah, they're just yeah, I there was the one time in my life I got really ambitious with the clothing. It lasted about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'd be very much, since I was a little kid, very much all about my clobber. Always have been. Not necessarily fashion conscious, but I always had, this is the style of stuff I'm wearing now. That does change, obviously, as you get older or whatever. But I have things. I have things that I think are cool. And in my teens, again, people think I'm exaggerating. We were fucking poor. We didn't have a lot of money. So I don't know if you remember, off O'Connell Street, there was Boyers and there was also Cleary's bargain shops.
Yeah.
Right downstairs.
That had either gotten damaged or gone out of fashion.
Or nobody wanted to fucking buy. So this is where I used to get brought as a teenager to go and buy my fucking stuff. Now, 2 things came out of that. One was the most god-awful green and gold, supposedly in inverted commas, Mead shell suit, which my parents bought me when I was 14 and made me wear. And I did wear it. And it, like you, I learned the lesson early, split it up, maybe you'll get away with it. kind of got away with it, but it's a fucking shell suit. You know, I'm kind of embarrassed I had to wear that, but that wasn't a purchase of mine. What I bought was what I saw as being a lovely black and white Adidas top half white, bottom half black, lovely Adidas logo. Cool. Grabbed it, brought it home, realized when I put it on, it had fucking bat wings.
Oh dear.
The sleeves did not go up to your sort of end of your armpit. No, they came down in a lovely dramatic fucking angle. So I was going around with my arms tucked in because I refused to not wear it. Go around with my arms tucked in for a full year, insisting on wearing this thing, but never being able to use my arms. So that was one. Two was, again, like you, I came into a bit of money when I got my first job. My first teaching job, actually, which I fell into arse backwards because I had no intention of teaching. I was going to go back and do a PhD and the devil knows what else. Someone offered me a couple hours in a private school in Navan. I said, yeah, okay. Then they offered me a few hours. Next thing was 18 hours. And I went, that's a fucking shit ton of money. I can make loads of money. So I just said, yeah, okay, I'll do that. I got my first paycheck. I didn't know what to do with this money, Dave. I'd never had any money. And this was like an insane amount. My first paycheck, I go up to Massimo fucking Duty off Grafton Street. I go in, I swagger in, Billy Big Bollocks, and it's now, just for context, 1996. And I swagger in, it's height of Britpop era and all that kind of stuff. I see a black velvet suit, which had the whole sort of button right up to the top, Nehru-style jacket.
Yeah.
It's black, it's velvet. I'm having a bit of that. I stick it on me. I buy myself a bright orange shirt to go with it. None more 90s. And I charge into town that night, absolutely convinced I look like the fucking dog's bollocks. And I kind of got away with it with some people like you. And then other people were like, that's a bit much, isn't it? The two things together.
You've been ambitious there.
Now, what happened was I was able to rescue it and wear the jacket with jeans or whatever, or with a t-shirt, and it looked quite cool. But never again did the twain meet. I could not wear that suit. And what I was thinking of a black velvet suit, but God bless me. You know, you got to try these things, Dave. You're young.
You do.
You don't know any better.
Understand that, like, when you're a bit older than me, but the Ireland we grew up in was poor. Ireland was a poor country, and it was quite a cut-off, backwards country for a long time as well.
Yeah.
So we didn't have access to a lot of stuff.
And drab as fuck as well. So when you get a chance to go out and do Billy Big Bollocks and go like
100%. So I have one other one actually that's come, as you mentioned, the suit. I have two others. So I'll give you the first one. Was I was about 21, and there was a family wedding or something that we were going to, and I didn't have a suit. So my mom said to me, "You're going to have to get a suit for this wedding." So she gave me her credit card. She says, you can spend X amount, go and get yourself a suit. Get a suit you can wear plenty, because, you know, there'll be other weddings and funerals and stuff. So don't get anything ridiculous. Get something neutral coloured, you know, black, navy, grey, whatever. No problem at all. I decided I wasn't going to go to Navan. I was going to go to Dublin, because Dublin was where you got a suit, because there was tailors in Dublin and stuff in my, you know, stupid head.
Yeah.
Or if I go to Dublin anyway, and I go rambling round, and I find a suit, right? Now, when I tell you that this suit would not have looked out of place in The Godfather Part 1, I think this is the business. This is the suit for me now, right? So I get this suit. I bring it home. Mom says, did you get the suit? I did. I got it on an offer as well. It was on sale. It was on sale because no other fucking idiot would buy it. And because I was a rugby player, I had a weird build as well. You know, I was short but stocky. So I could play.
Was it one of those suits you used to buy in hairy legs?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
So the day of the wedding anyway, Mom.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay, where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now because game day is so close you can almost taste it. Football watching. Better with Pepsi.
Mom had some role in the wedding, so Mom left the house early. So it was me and my stepfather and my sister, and I put the suit on. Stepfather kind of side-eyed me, but I didn't think much of it. We go up to my grandparents' house. It's kind of the launch pad for the whole family to go to this wedding and walk in en masse and show a sign of family solidarity, whatever the fuck. My grandfather is sitting in the chair, not a man known for his fashion sense, and he just looked at me and went, "You've got a bit ambitious with that suit, young fella." I thought to myself, if he's saying that, I'm proper fucked here. So right, that was a suit that was one and done, never worn again.
Talk us through it. What made it such a
and large lapels.
Okay, I got you.
Double-breasted. It was very fancy. It had gold buttons.
Wow.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was not a good look for me at all. I have, from both sides of my family, I am cursed with quite stocky legs.
Yes.
I have enormous calf muscles.
Yeah.
And this suit had quite tight trousers in the lower leg region. So you could trace the outline of my leg muscles on this suit. And then the top was kind of ill-fitting. It was a little bit too long for me because I have broad shoulders. So it was it was terrible. It was absolutely shocking. But when I was in Australia, I was earning really good money, right? So when I went to Australia, it was just the start of Australian winter, but I started my work quite quickly and was earning really good money. And I thought, I better get a coat for winter. Because when you're fucking head, you think it's winter like. So we're just used to Irish winter.
Yeah.
So I went and I bought this. I went to buy a coat, right? And then I was looking at it. I couldn't find the type of thing I was thinking of for a winter coat. And then I realized I'm in Australia. I don't need a winter coat. I'll just buy, something that'll keep me relatively warm, that'll look decent, that I can wear other times. So I bought this leather jacket, and I think I spent about the equivalent of about €800 on this leather jacket.
Jesus wept.
And I never wore the fucking thing. Never wore it once, right? And because you couldn't get the weather for it. It was far too warm. Even in winter, it'd be pissing rain. And it was leather, but it had a suede inside. And I was like, I don't really, I'm not going to wear it zipped up because I look like a fucking ridiculous. And it's hard leather. So you're like, it's real leather. So you've got to kind of wear it in over a couple of years to really get it to flex properly for you. And so I never wore it zipped up. I always wore it open. But you couldn't wear it in the rain because if the rain got on the suede, it'll ruin it. So I never wore it. I think I wore it around the house a few times to try and wear it in. Never wore it this side.
Wearing your 800 jacket,
100%. And then I'm leaving Australia, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I was going over, I paid to bring 2 bags with me. When I was coming home, I wasn't coming directly home. I was coming home. I was going to go around Asia. So it's like, I don't want to be hauling 2 big bags with me. So I didn't book a second bag. So then I start packing my bag. And I've nowhere to put this fucking jacket. I was like, well, I'm not wearing it. So what the fuck am I going to do with it in Asia? So I gave it to Goodwill. An 800 euro, it was about 14 or 1,500 Australian dollars, never worn, and I gave it to Goodwill.
At least the suit got a wear.
The suit got wear, the jacket never did, yeah. The suit was given to St. Vincent de Paul. I think it's probably still down there, because I don't know anyone else who's stupid enough to take it off the rack.
There's garment sellers all around the Liverpool podcast network now, rubbing their hands together, thinking this Hendrick lad's an easy mark. I'm gonna sort something out here to bring us back towards something resembling football chat. I did ask earlier on, because considering we're fucking half an hour in talking about clothes, I did ask early on if anyone had any questions, and some people actually did respond. Some more serious than others, but I do like a few of these ones, and this is kind of festive as well, and it'll sort of slowly ease us back into the football chat that I do want to get to for the second half. So the first question I have is one of the most recent ones that came there on the timeline. It's from Julio Iglesias, or Donald Hayden, a top man who runs Minmore Muse in Shillelagh. And if you have a chance in Ireland to go and spend a bit of time there at that wonderful business of his, you should do it.
And get yourself a Shillelagh while you're down there.
And get yourself a Shillelagh, because then you can batter lads.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win. But Donald asks, favourite food that you only eat at Christmas? So Donald's suggestion is actually a really good one. I was eyeing some of this up earlier on in the shop. Pate, like that. Because I would never buy pate during the year, but it's one of those things that you buy for like, always get a few bits type of thing. So I like that one. But my one that I only eat at Christmas, and it's not particularly special, but I do see them available all year, is mince pies. And I do love them. But I would never cross my mind to buy a mince pie outside of Christmas. So that's mine. It's a little bit easy, a little bit predictable. But what about you? Anything that springs to mind that's a Christmas? Oh, hang on. Brussels sprouts. I'll only ever have them because I can never be arsed cooking them myself. And they're usually done, if we do at home here, with bacon and all sorts of like little bits that make them a bit more palatable. But I think I'm one of the few humans who actually likes Brussels sprouts. So yeah, Brussels sprouts, mince pies. What about yourself?
So I don't like Brussels sprouts, but I used to always like have a token Brussels sprout on the plate at Christmas, which I would cut up into very small bits and eat with other stuff and eventually get it done. And then when I was living in England, I was living with a friend of mine called Michelle, and she loves Brussels sprouts. But someone told her one day that the best way to cook them is to steam them. So I came home one day, and
that doesn't smell good.
Oh my God, the smell was absolutely atrocious.
It's rank.
And I've never been able to even stomach the sight of them since. So because of the smell of them, I can't have Brussels sprouts near me, and I can't have liver, because you probably the same.
Hey guys, it's Eddie Gibbs from Anfield Index here. I hope you're enjoying this podcast, and I'm sorry to call time on the show before it ends. In the current climate, it's tougher than ever before to offer podcasts for free. At Anfield Index, we produce over 75 free shows every month, which I'm confident is unparalleled in the LFC sphere. Whilst we'd love to offer everything for free, the production costs now make this impossible. That said, we don't want to follow the model of other channels and lock all of our content behind a paywall. So what we've decided to do is to continue offering every show for free, but cut that offering to 30 minutes on our longer shows. So to get all of our shows in full and enjoy the best of everything we have to offer, we really hope you'll consider supporting the channel and signing up at AnfieldIndexPro.com. For about the price of one cup of coffee, you'll get every podcast in full with 0 ads. You'll also get access to our LFC VIP community, where you can enjoy live podcasts, engage with our podcasters, and chat with other Reds in real time. So that website again, AnfieldIndexPro.com. Join today.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.